Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker podcast. I'm Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Dancia Kudran.
The Dancia Kudran, by the way. Thank you very much.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. We got a guest today.
Hi.
Woohoo. Hello.
The Lorrie Boyer. Lorrie Boyer. See, I almost got away with it. I almost had a great opening. It was almost awesome, and then I messed up your last name.
A lot of people mess up my name. I don't know for sure why, but it does.
What is
They'll
it?
say like Lorrie or Boyer or something like that. Like I guess it's hard to say. It's not for me, but
Lorrie Boyer. It is kind of
like lawyer or Boyer. Like people do that all the time.
yeah. It's a tongue twister, I guess. Maybe I don't know.
I heard it right.
Did you?
Yeah.
Mine's Larry Lundstrom. So it's like a dopey sounding. I hate it so much.
It's a real
Double
tongue
L.
twister.
Double L.
Well, Lorrie, thank you for coming on. Lorrie's actually a radio DJ in the area.
Yep.
Right? Yep. Fellow podcaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And we'll talk about your podcast before we go, though.
Okay. Sounds good.
Now it's our podcast. Selfish.
It's our turn, okay?
We'll talk
It's your
about your podcast later, Lorrie.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'm here to be on your show.
Yeah.
You're the star.
So, yeah, we're gonna get going here. Before we start, though, because you gotta go work after this.
Yeah. Yes. I was just saying. So today is our soccer team made it to the playoffs. So I did that. And then now we have a football game tonight. So I'm just so busy.
Who's Fort Morgan playing?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh!
I know. Oh my God. I know for soccer we played Meade.
Don't you work there?
Oh my God, Larry, who asked you?
Lorrie Boyer, you're on the radio. Who did the Fort Morgan Mustangs play today?
I'm not John Beltran. I don't know who they're playing.
Yeah.
John.
I don't know. I put John on the air, and then, I just hear blah, blah, blah.
Right. How long have you done the radio for?
25 years.
No
What?
kidding.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd that start at?
That's an interesting story in itself. So actually my degree is in print media. I thought I was going to be writing for like newspapers or magazines and agriculture. I've always been in agriculture. And I got married and moved to Lamar, Colorado, which is in the far southeast corner. And I did start at the Ag Journal in La Junta, and I didn't like it. I worked with all women, and at that time, computers aren't what they are now. Had to commute back and forth. It was a terrible drive, late at night. I'm young, scary.
Right.
Just wasn't my jam. And then I heard on the radio they were looking for an on-air assistant. Well, the whole time my mom had always said, "Oh, you need to be in radio. You need to be in radio." And I just kind of, blew her off like you do your mom. I went ahead and applied, and, it was a God thing. They were looking for someone who knew about agriculture and wanted to do ag news on the air, and that was my thing, and so I've been in it ever since.
Wow.
That's awesome. So you must dig it.
I do, yeah.
Do you
So
think-
I spent 9 years in Lamar and the rest here, and
Right.
there's 2 radio stations in Lamar, so I was at both of them between the 9 years that I was there.
One of them is 106.3, right? Or 105.7?
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
We used to run a comedy show in Lamar, and I remember
I see.
105.7. Yeah. That's
KVAY.
Yeah.
That took me a minute. Yeah, Kel Lamar and KVAY. So I started at the bottom, just like most people do, to make a whole lot of money. And, our
Right.
tower had cows around it. And so it was part of my job to go out, run the cows away so they didn't dump the fence. And at that time, everybody smoked inside. So I was
Sure.
a cigarette runner. I was a coffee
wow.
runner. I was the late afternoon milkshake runner. But,
Sounds great. I
in the
love
end,
it.
I
They
was
should
the
have those
last one
jobs.
standing where everyone else quit or left.
Yes.
And here I was still there.
Good for you.
That sounds like a horrible job.
What? That's amazing.
It humbles you.
Yeah.
Go get some smokes.
Yes.
They did. I did.
I'd take up smoking just to join them.
I would open that pack and lick every one of them.
Yes.
I'd have my revenge.
Roofium.
At that time, I actually smoked, so they'd share with me.
Really? Not a
Yeah.
smoker anymore.
No, not for a long time.
Kind of a health nut nowadays.
I am now. Yeah.
That's cool. I always see your pictures online because you were at the gym here in town.
Yes.
The box. What do they call
They
it?
call it the box.
Okay.
CrossFit gym is called a box. Good job.
I am just full
Kind
of
of
like
impressed.
weird.
It changes names. It's changed names quite a few times, I feel. No?
No, it stayed the same name.
Owners though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on kind of the second/third owner. There was a divorce, but it did stay in the hands of.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. They have that though in town though. It's
Yes.
really neat.
Super fun.
CrossFit. I don't. I'm gonna be an old man now, so if I do start going back to the gym, it's gonna be like on the treadmill. In my
We have
Same.
those there.
What's that?
We have treadmills.
Do you really? I'm going to come check it out.
Yeah.
I was just watching the soccer game. I was getting tired. Like, oh my God, they just got to that end. Now they got to run all the way back.
So much energy. Don't you get a little older and you like look at kids that do all this crazy stuff like online or TikTok or whatever, and the first thing you think is like, there's no way my knees would let me hit that. You know, that's
Exactly.
buddy, your knees are going to hurt when you're 46 years old. It's going to be
you're going to feel a storm coming.
That's it. Because when you get old, it's like standing by the chair. You're like, nailed that one. You know, getting old sucks.
It does. It's overrated.
All right. Well, if you're new to the Bullhucker podcast, what it is a podcast where we bring a guest on. This week's Lorrie, Ms. Boyer, Lorrie Boyer. Got it right that time. And she's going to tell 3 stories about her life. Now, the kicker is only 2 of these stories are going to be true. One of them is either made up. It's made up or borrowed. Okay, so Lorrie, the one that's the Bullhucker that's not true, is it made up? Is it borrowed? Don't go in a lot of detail.
Oh, it's made up.
You made it all up.
Kind of, mostly made up.
Okay, that's perfect.
Partially true.
That's okay though. I like that. That's well. I mean, most lies are
Right.
partially true, right?
Little snippets.
Okay, cool. It's fun to see who does what. Some are borrowed, some are. Lately, it's been a mix. Like people are like, it's a mix of being borrowed and made up. So they take someone else's story, then they just,
Add something.
Yeah, add the shit out of it. So
Yeah.
So that's what we do on the Bullhucker. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you hit that subscribe button at the bottom right-hand corner. It's a little red dot. You can just hit that. Or at the end of the video, you can see it on the end credits. Hit it there. Also, we're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we're on TikTok. I say that. I usually don't talk like that, but she just giggles every time. Like,
I cannot get over that you have a TikTok. I love it. I love it.
You know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do, Lorrie. They do all these little dances, like everybody and their mom. I'm going to talk you into a dance, Kudrin.
Oh, yeah. We are going to learn a
trend.
TikTok dance.
Have you done the TikTok dances? You're in shape. You could probably pull it off,
I am
Lorrie
on
Boyer.
TikTok. I have made TikToks, but not dancing. No.
What is your TikTok handle, Lorrie Boyer?
Ag Queen.
What do you do on your TikToks?
Oh, gosh, a variety of stuff. I have workout stuff. I have
Okay.
video stuff. Sometimes I just jam out to Conway Twitty on there.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, it's a rabbit hole, that damn TikTok.
Oh,
So
man.
you got on it.
No, okay, listen, I did not, but you know how our phones listen to us. We all know that. My Facebook started giving me snippets. And I'm kid you not, the other night I was laying in bed and I was like, what's this? 47 minutes later, I was like,
Oh, I know.
Go to bed.
It gets you.
You're
It's
so true.
Yes.
So true.
Yes.
I hate a lot of the dun 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 dun. That
Yeah.
shit drives me nuts.
Get it.
So yeah, you know what? We're gonna be TikToks later, Denzia. Okay.
Hell yeah, we are.
I'm gonna get a few beers in you, and then we're gonna be TikToks, and then
Say less.
it should be laid in bed and she'll be like, "Oh shit, I remember this."
You had me at few beers.
Should be doing Applebee's.
I just finally figured out what Michelle was talking about with the Applebee's and your husband Brian.
Same.
I know Brian. I met Brian before I met you, actually.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't remember where. That's the horrible thing. Where did he work? Did he ever work for like DFA or anything?
No, he's worked for John Deere the whole time we've been here.
I'll be down. I don't know where I know Brian from. Did he play like when they had like dodgeball?
No.
God, I don't know where I know Brian from.
No.
The bar?
It might be the bar.
Yeah.
It could be.
It might be. So, how'd you guys meet?
I feel like we just like have known each other from the radio.
Yeah.
Like when I'd go in through Visions of Trees, and I'd always see you, and then Michelle, and so yeah.
And that's coming up, isn't it?
It is November 20th. We're doing it this year, guys.
How does people get involved with that?
Okay. Well, I don't mean to take your time, but it's a great event. Like it really, we give back to the whole community, and we didn't do it last year, so we're doing it this year. But we're downsizing. So if anybody wanted to do a tree or a donation, they could reach out to me or anybody on the committee.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what church is it at?
It's at Life Fellowship.
Okay.
So, and we are doing entertainment this year, but just a smaller version of it. So
You and I doing TikTok dances? Is that the?
yes,
That's the entertainment, right?
Yes,
That's gonna be awesome.
Exactly. Savage.
It'd be awesome.
It will be. I'm in.
And when you do a tree, it's actually, if you've never been there, I went a few times. It's kind of cool because you custom make the tree to whatever
Yeah.
you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's the most original tree you've seen so far?
Okay, there's been so many cool ones. I will say Kids at Their Best did a really cool one. It was like a Jack. What's the guy from Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh, yeah,
What's
yeah.
his
I
name?
know.
Oh, Jack,
I
yeah.
know who you're talking about.
Jack's. Oh my gosh. You know what I'm talking about.
Jack, yeah.
Anyway, it was A Nightmare Before Christmas tree, and they made that character as the tree and like put things around it. It was really cool.
Creative.
Was it
It
Jack,
is.
Jack Midnight?
I haven't actually seen it. I've just seen the
You've never
characters.
seen that movie?
I haven't.
Lorrie Boyer.
I know. Is this your lie?
Have you
Could
never
be.
been?
Let me throw that in real quick.
Right, yeah.
Were you never a goth kid? Is that what it was, Lori?
No,
I mean,
I've never got
have you never? And you ever went to a Spencer's and been like, I should watch this movie since it's wall to wall and this shit. So,
Yeah, Spencer's has everything though now, so she's got a lot of choices.
yeah. All right. Well, we got 3 stories. Lori, you ready to tell some stories?
I think so.
Okay. Now, come on. You know so.
I'm used to putting on everyone else's stories.
I
so
know, you're used
this
to-
is a
It's your time to shine, girl.
Yeah,
Get it.
I'm proud of you for being here, Lori. You want to read them off?
Yeah. Well, are we gonna talk about how it's coming up on Halloween?
It is coming up on Halloween.
Yes.
So Halloween have already been passed for you guys, but right now we're 3 days out, 4 days out, 3 days out.
Which I think these stories are really cool going into Halloween.
I know. I wish I'd have got you here earlier
I know.
to have these
I
for
know.
Halloween.
So she's got some fun ones.
Right.
So we have Night at the Stanley. Ooh, spooky.
That's a scary story, not a sex story, right?
And then
Yes.
we just say
Okay, all right.
chopper time over brush.
All right. Also,
And then we say a middle schooler's Halloween.
I love it.
So 2 are Halloween related and one's
Yes.
not.
Okay. All right.
Love it.
Well,
Psyched.
pick it out, Dance.
I mean, you know what? We're going with Night at the Stanley.
I love it.
I want to
Okay.
hear it.
All right. So we were talking a little bit about this before we got started. Halloween's a big deal at the Stanley Hotel. Of course, with The Shining, and Jack Nicholson comes every year and does a little fundraiser up there and such. So we happened to be up there on Halloween weekend, and there was a wedding there too. Okay, so there's the original Stanley, and then there's some add-ons.
Right.
The add-ons are fairly old too. I think they were 70s or something like that. So we had to stay in an add-on room. And so, we went up there, we had our fun, doing the whole Estes Park thing. It's fall, it's beautiful, whatever. But that wedding was going on downstairs. So by the time we got ready for bed, I knew there was a lot going on down there, but whatever, that's their thing. And so we go to bed. So here's where the story really starts. So a little while later, we're both in bed, and, there's no central heat or air, or there wasn't at that time. Now, this has been a little while ago. I don't know if they've upgraded now or not. And so we're on the 2nd floor, I believe, and we're in bed and we're sleeping away. And I hear a huge knock on the door. Huge knock, not just a little, like a bang and knock.
Like the police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, keep in mind that you can hear things that are going on right outside in the hall because those floors are creaky.
Right.
It's old. I could hear people coming and going. I'm not a great sleeper anyway, but I could hear people coming and going indoors. So I hear a big knock. I get up, and I was there pretty quickly to open that door, and there was nobody there. Nobody. And that might not creep you out too much. There's a wedding going on. Maybe there's kids. People are drinking. You're like, okay.
I've done that.
But if
Somebody does a knock and run. All right.
Yeah.
I'm a logical person. I'm a
Right.
realist. So I chalk it up to that. The only thing I can say to that is I believe I would have heard some running. I believe I would have heard some footsteps.
Right.
To have that big of a knock and not have somebody run or walk and you heard nothing, I think would be really weird.
It would be weird.
But like I said, it's a wedding. Okay.
But also, I mean, like, okay, so this time of year on the Travel Channel, they have all the haunted places. They have all the haunted stuff, and I love it. I watch
do
it. I watch the shit out of it, And the Stanley is always on, man. So
It is.
There's something to it there,
Well, it's kind of giving me chills thinking about this night.
I've only been to Estes once. Patty took me because I'd never been to Estes, and that was like, yeah, right. That was like
How?
your Nightmare Before Christmas. I don't know. I just never went to,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, so I go back to bed.
Wasn't done. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not
Yeah.
done yet.
Oh,
So
okay.
I go back
yeah.
to bed, okay, and I'm like, people are just messing with us, whatever. I go back to bed a little while later, and my husband's sleeping through the whole thing, right? I don't
Right.
wake him up over it.
Lazy bastard, Brian.
I'll just get murdered.
So I'm always trying to rationalize this whole story, and I still haven't quite wrapped my head around it. So I go back to bed. Well, we had the curtains closed because Brian likes it extremely dark. I can sleep with a light, but he likes it extremely dark. So the curtains are completely closed. It's pitch black. I stumble my way going back to bed after I answered the door. Next thing you know, I don't know how long it was because I went back to sleep. There is this huge yellow light in my face. In my face.
I hate that.
What?
Yellow, bright. I can see it today. Big ass bright light in my face. So I wake up.
Like it's floating, or it's like someone's shining a light.
Someone's shining a light
Okay.
in my bigger than a flashlight.
Okay.
So of course I open my eyes and I'm like, what?
Right.
Brian's fast asleep. The light's gone. Just gone.
Wow.
Okay, no.
So, go back to. So then right now I'm like, okay, well maybe we're on the second floor. It can't be a headlight. I don't know, but I'm a little creeped out. I have to admit. By now.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so and it's still pitch black, so I go back to bed. As I mentioned, Brian and I had been up there earlier that day. We did some shopping, so I had some bags in the room, like Walmart type bags. Not Walmart because there's not Walmart, but plastic bags with stuff in there on a chair. I go back to sleep. I don't know how long it's been. And the next thing you know, I hear these bags rustling, just rustling, like somebody's getting stuff out of them. I hear them over in the chair moving.
Oh, my God.
I peed my pants. I wake up Brian. Of course, he's like, ugh. He is groggier than I'll get out. He thinks I'm nuts. And I'm sitting up in bed like in a movie, with the sheet up over me going, oh.
Right.
Scared the crap out of me. Those bags rustled. I probably wasn't very long, but I swear they rustled for 2 to 3 minutes. I just laid there before I sat up because I was scared.
But when it's happening, you want it to stop happening, so it takes. That's why it takes forever. I would assume, right?
And you're like, what do I do?
Right.
Do I investigate? Do I not investigate?
What
It's
did
pitch
you do?
black.
Did you talk? Hello?
No, I laid there until it was pretty much done, and then I woke Brian up, and he doesn't remember it at all. Yeah.
Really?
You were like that girl in the movie, hello? Is anybody there?
I know.
Yeah.
Right before she's murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to tell me something?
Yeah. So, of course, you're scared, to go back to sleep. But
Did you even want to get up and pee? I would have peed my pants.
I don't remember that for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't remember kind of what I did afterwards. I just remember sitting up and being like,
How much longer did you have till the sun came up?
oh,
is
a good question.
Yeah.
I did go back to sleep.
You did?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, and then then we woke up in the morning. I was trying to tell Brian these things, and he thinks I'm loco. But
Well, do you remember the room number?
no, I
Okay.
don't.
Oh,
but I
wish
could
you
probably walk straight there. From,
Yeah. Because there's a certain room in the Stanley from those shows where there's a lady who had passed away or was murdered or whatever, and that's there's one room that is the crazy haunted room.
I think that's
I've
in
heard
the
that.
main hotel.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
You said you were in the. Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
So do you think you saw a ghost? Do you think it was a ghost? Tell me that.
Yeah.
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 The light is pretty freaky.
Right.
Yeah.
If this story is false, I'm going to be pissed because I'm sucked in.
Yeah.
I am sucked in.
Right. It is. It's. Yeah. I love this stuff so
Me
much.
too. Have you ever seen a ghost?
I don't think I've seen one, but I think I lived with one.
I've heard that many times. Well,
Really?
You have a history of that.
Yeah, well, ours was a
house.
real person, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is a little creepier.
Right. Mm-hmm. When I was living in Pueblo, my roommate had moved out, and so I got a 1-bedroom apartment. This old couple used to live there, and then they didn't. So I move in, and everything's cool. And one day in mail, this check comes, a tax return for the old man. So I take it to the landlord. I go, hey, he probably wants his check. And she's like, no, I don't think he does. He passed away. And I go, where'd he die? And she's like, hospital. I'm like, you're lying to me. I know you're lying to me. That old man died in this room. Anyway, the weirdest things would happen in this, sometimes the door would just shut. I have no windows open. It's winter. And my bedroom door would shut. It was crazy stuff. The thing that was the weirdest was one day we take turns partying in everybody's houses, apartments.
Right.
And I cleaned the whole apartment up, and I always had I had a glass, a coffee table. It's wood, but a glass middle. And I'd always put a scented candle in there, so it didn't smell like a single guy lived there, right? So,
Right.
And I took my Bulls hat, and I threw it on the bed before I left after I took a shower. And when I came back, that candle was on top of my TV stand. and the bull's hat was on the and I would have never, ever, 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 ever put that candle on top of a wooden TV stand. I always put it on the coffee table because it was glass, in case it tipped over, although it probably would have burned the place down still. But
so creepy.
Because I remember I opened it up and I looked at it and I thought to myself, did you, and I'm the only one who lives there, well, me and the old dead dude, obviously. But yeah, but I never felt like threatened. Like sometimes the door would just shut, but
they say they can be friendly.
Well, and I was a huge drinker at the time, so I think maybe he just got like frustrated. Like he tried to haunt me, he tried to like scare me, and then he's like, "Oh my God, he's talking to himself again." Like things that would happen when I'm drunk. He's like, "I can't watch this again." You know what? You win,
this
fat
boy.
boy.
Is a mess.
Yeah, you win, fat boy. Yeah.
I give up.
I'm glad I'm dead and not you. That's what that is. But it was the craziest apartment. Like it was weird. So.
I think they're real.
Have you ever?
Okay, well, when I was in high school, and my sister's like 4 years older than me, she lived in this little like trailer. Like it was actually right by down from Pioneer School, and I'd go over to her house, and we started playing with a Ouija board. You guys, was so stupid. We got so sucked into a Ouija board for like months. We were playing with this damn Ouija board. And so one night I was spending the night at her house, and we were laying in bed, and the cupboards.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's giving me
chills. It was really creepy. And she had a water bed, and we were sleeping together because that's what we did. And the water bed got really, really hot, and we were scared. And we like actually left and went home and
really
burned the Ouija board. Yeah.
Was it like a Parker Brothers or was it an actual Ouija board?
I don't know. I don't know where we got it. I don't remember.
Wood, metal? Like
yes,
like
it was wood. It was wood.
So it wasn't like a. You know what I'm talking about, Parker Brothers, right?
Yeah.
A Monopoly board. Like,
right. Yeah. No, it was wood. It was wood.
Wow.
I dated a girl named Jen in Pueblo who has one, and I've heard that you can't get rid of them unless you give it away. Yeah.
Really?
So I heard that over and over, that if you have a Ouija board, you can't just throw it away. It'll show back up. I never wanted to test that theory. And so a girl I dated in Pueblo named Jen told me one day that she had an honest to God, like wooden, metal, like somebody made this damn thing. Like, yeah. And I go, like, where is it right now? I've never played with one, nor do I have any ambition to play with one, because those things are not good.
No.
And I go, where is it, Jen? She's like, in my parents' basement. I'm like, do your parents know you put the portal to hell in their basement? Did you?
This isn't Jumanji, Jen.
Yeah. When your dad's taking a shit and he hears something walking through the house, it's the demon that you let in. Do they know that, Jen?
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah. Then I come to find out later that they were used to evil because they was her daughter. You know what I mean? So.
Oh.
Yeah, that was a dig.
Yeah, but it's funny. It's in the past.
But yeah.
I don't like it. I would never suggest it.
Like by yourself, you're never supposed to do it?
No, it's so creepy.
I've never done that.
Do you have any ambition to?
No.
No. I grew up Catholic, so we're scared of all that shit. Like,
I'm a little scared of that.
Yeah.
I am now. Yes,
I don't,
exactly. Never. And I've always told my kids, don't even think about it.
They're going to. Eventually, probably.
I don't know. I've scared them. I hope I
hope so
kind
too.
of like messed them up a bit,
Because it's not. I don't. Yeah. Well, what do you think about that story?
I mean, I want it to be true because we went down a rabbit hole with it. I'm scared out of my wits right now. I kind of want to go boo, but it's
I'll come at you, Kujin. I'll come at you, dude.
It's so scary.
This video will appear on the news. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
It scares easy. Yeah. So, I feel like, what are you thinking?
I want it to be true in the worst way.
Me too. Me
too.
too.
If it's not true, it was very well told and very believable. I will give you that.
Because the white light put me over the edge, girl. It was the light.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, all those shows, what do you see over and over? The light. If you if you look on our YouTube channel, at the very first video we ever did is when I was setting this up. We were going to do the test run, and Matt Gordon and I are in here, and you can actually see a little white orb move throughout the.
I've heard that about here.
Yeah. So
I've been upstairs here.
Yeah. So
I hate it.
She says I'm scared easy. We took her up there. She
so
wanted
scared.
no piece of it. Sean Kelly came into the podcast, and have you ever been in the back here?
No, I have not been back
So behind the stage, there's it's cool. They took the ladders out, but they have like the old vaudeville. It used to be a vaudeville stage. So the dressing rooms are up top. Just before you go, I'll just peek back there and show you. He walked back there, and I told him, "You're not leaving without me. I'm going to break this down. You're going to stick around." Him and his wife, and he went walking around. He came back here and sat back down. I go, "What's up, Sean?" Dude, he got the worst vibe from the dressing room over here. Like, he would not go back there again. Like, yeah, and Sean's not like that. He's not.
But Adam doesn't believe.
Oh.
So it's something's going to happen to Adam because Adam's not in.
Well, and that's what I said. Like, if that thing picks up Adam's big ass and throws it, which I hope happens. I don't want him to get hurt, but I hope it like picks him up, just tosses him, and like, I told you it's real. I told you it's real.
Well played.
Yeah.
Well played, Mr. Ghost.
That's right. I will kick Adam on the ground, and be like, possess him, and I will run. I'll leave your ass, Pokey. I'll leave your ass. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, you know what? So there's another one that's Halloween based, but I'm going to save that one till last.
Yeah.
So I'm going to pick Chopper Time and Brush. Chopper Time over Brush.
Okay. This one won't be as long. So as you mentioned, I'm in radio, and one of the perks of my job is I get to go do remote broadcasts from all kinds of places, and I've gotten to do some really fun things. I've been to a dairy farm and a pumpkin farm and carrot farm and all these different agriculture things. Well, we have a listener in Boulder who listens every morning online, and he's also a pilot. He's a lawyer too, but he's also a pilot. And he's messaged me over the last few years just saying, I listen to you. We've kind of just built a relationship. And following him on Facebook, I saw he was a pilot. And so one day I said, hey, I should do my show from your plane. That would be really cool.
That would be cool.
So a couple of years before COVID really got big, I guess it's been maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, he flies his little plane from Boulder or Broomfield, wherever he stores it at, to the Brush Airport. Little plane, I can't remember what it is. I don't remember, but I went through all the safety checks, which took a long time with them. So I learned more about planes than I ever knew in my life.
Right.
And it is a 4-person plane, but it's pretty small. So it was just him and I, though, that day. And so I get in there, and we get in the air, and we're going around brush, and it's cool. And I'm doing my radio show the whole time. Now, when you're in there, you wear these really thick headphones, and it's really hard to hear. But you can hear him, and you could hear if somebody radios in, if he had it on the right channel. But he kind of muted that so that we could talk. But I'm also doing a Facebook Live. I'm multitasking, right? I'm doing a Facebook Live.
You went for it.
I'm interviewing him on my phone so I can play it back because, of course, I didn't know how signal would be, floating around above brush. We went over Fort Morgan. We went over Wiggins. We did all this cool stuff, but that's when the fires were real bad too. So it was pretty smoky. So it was a little hard to see some of it, but it was really cool. So I'm here, I'm looking, and I'm recording, and I have these big, thick headphones on. I swear I'm deaf in my left ear anyway, and I can hear him breathing. You can hear someone. I mean, not creepy, but you just can hear breathing because that's all you're in there hearing in these big, big headphones. So I'm doing my thing. I'm looking this way. I'm talking. I'm doing my thing. Well, in front of me is some controls. And he had said, at some point I'm going to let you fly. And I'm like, oh, okay. So he says, well, why don't you go ahead and take over and fly? So he kind of briefly showed me what to do. So I grabbed the plane steering wheel thing. And again, I'm still recording. I'm having fun. I'm laughing. I'm just entertaining myself. I still hear him breathing, not paying a bit of attention. I look over and he's asleep or passed out. I don't know, but he's out.
Oh no.
He's out.
What?
He's out. I'm driving.
Were you worried he was dead for a minute?
Oh my God,
I
didn't know what
just
to
kicked
think.
the bucket.
I don't know how you process that. The thing is, I'm in my own radio world doing my job, but I'm like laughing. I'm like, ah. And he's an older gentleman, and he's out, slumped over, like
you say older. I mean, ballpark. How old?
I would say early to mid 60s, maybe.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, he's like slumped up against the window. He's
couldn't take it anymore.
And I'm scared to let go. And so you have to have a real steady hand. Of course, I'm not trained in this. So I'm like touching him. I'm like, Charles. And the plane is going like this.
You're praying it's not a weekend at Bernie's kind of thing.
And I'm like, I freeze. like my whole body was like, oh, shit.
Right.
Is he like have a case of narcolepsy here, or like what's going on?
I don't know for sure.
Well, he flew all the way from wherever Bloomfield to Brush, so I mean,
Yeah.
he got that
He's
far.
tired. That
Right.
was exhausting.
Right.
So he's out. And so here I am driving around. I call it chopper over brush because it's a helicopter.
Right.
Sure.
And here I am just literally circling, floating. I felt like I was floating
Right.
around brush.
How long was he asleep for?
You know, I would say just probably a matter of, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, but I felt like a freaking
Yeah.
day.
And you don't know like how long it's gonna be.
No, I didn't know if he was alive.
Like
for
you in
sure.
it for
But he was-
good or
I guess I knew, I should take that back. I did know he was alive because I could still hear him breathing. I guess I knew he was alive, but I didn't know if he was, is he dying? Is he sick? Is he taking a nap? Somebody doesn't just slump over like that. I mean, I
Right.
knew something was wrong. I
so
knew
what
something
did he
was
say? How
wrong.
did he explain it? This is
So
crazy.
yeah, so I'm circling around brush going, what I don't even know how to call. I don't even know how to Mayday. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I don't know how to Mayday. 909 see? We
Do I call 911 and be like,
Can you
and
send
like I
someone
said,
up?
I had both hands on the wheel because I'm like,
Yeah.
do I call
Yeah.
them and go, I'm flying over brush. Like, what do I do?
Do they even call it a wheel, right? Like we don't know.
No, it's not even
We don't know.
It's just like a stick thing.
Yeah,
with
okay.
A square rectangle thing. Yeah, so anyway, I'm froze at what felt like forever trying to figure out what to do. I'm trying to process it. I'm like, oh, shit.
What took longer, this or the bag in the hotel room?
That's a good question. Probably this.
Okay, all right.
So finally, he kind of comes out of it.
Oh, I was having the weirdest dream. I was flying. Wait a minute.
I was pretty upset, I guess, if you freaked out, upset. I wasn't mad, upset, but then I kind of was mad, upset because I'm like,
Yeah.
I should have paid more attention to what he was telling me in the first place. But I mean, we didn't go over all that kind of stuff.
Right. If I happen to die.
Yeah, if I happen to fall asleep, here's what you do. I mean,
Right.
and he fell asleep / had some sort of an episode. I don't know if it's epilepsy. He didn't
Right.
say. We didn't really talk too far about his medical history, but he had something weird happened. So he came out of it, took back over. He was very apologetic, and
Right.
kind of laughed it off a little bit. Well, by the time we got, we landed, and I was okay. I was like, okay, now I can laugh. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, it was, and the funny thing is I don't know how long I was in my own world before I realized. I don't know how long he was out before I turned and saw him, realized, oh my gosh, I'm
Right.
all alone up here.
Where you nudge him, you're like, Charles, and a suicide note pops out of you son of a bitch. You bastard, Charles. Well, hey.
Yeah.
Well played, Charles.
But every time I touch him, we dip, and then and you're not real high up in a helicopter, and like I said, it was smoky. So I'm like, well, I hope I'm not going to take anyone's roof off. No, I wasn't that low, but
Right.
You have your hands, but your like foot's coming up, trying to.
you want to throw
Wake
something?
up.
You want to be like, but I'm sure that the citizens of Rush would love knowing how safe they were that day.
Wow.
Stay in Broomfield, Charles. Yes. Wow.
He never that's so weird not to even explain it.
No, I don't even think I don't think he even knew what happened. I mean, he's still alive and kicking.
He's
but
schizophrenic.
I think he was freaked out too. I mean,
Right.
I think
I would be too.
Yeah.
because when we both got out, we were both kind of stunned, to be honest, like kind of a little shock going on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because that's an experience you see in the movies you don't have.
Right.
So both of us were a little like,
Or it'd be a comedy movie.
did that just happen? Is that for real? And even right now, telling you that, I'm like, that happened. I was there. It's weird.
The crazy part is this is a true story. It's one of those times in life where you almost died, but I mean, the gravity of it didn't hit you until
Yeah.
like
It's funny now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, how many times have you had something like that happen, Dancy, where you
Oh,
you
God.
came close to death, but you're like, oh man, that was close shit,
Yep. Gave up on life on
Yeah.
that one.
Well, when you're in it, just processing that, I
Right.
don't know how I did process it. I mean, I
Right.
was just like trying to keep the
Good thing you
chopper
didn't
in the air.
lose your shit. It is a good thing. Just bail on out of that helicopter.
So next time, Lorrie Boyer Helpful hint: get a physical done on your pilot before you go up to just them.
Maybe
you know.
a Red Bull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And learn how to pimp slap somebody because I would. I'd have slapped the shit out of Chuck's ass, dude. I'd been like,
Have something ready to throw or something.
right.
Anyway.
A zapper.
You know what you should have done, Lori? Just like dipped it all the way down and started screaming your hat off. And if you don't wake up, well, then you know what? Start saying your prayers or just fly till the gas goes out.
I thought
tuck
this
and roll.
would be funny, but now here we are. I'm an ass.
Well, I think in those situations, there's people who do react and people who freeze. I was probably one of the freezers.
Right. Well, no, you kept it up there. So
Now you know this about yourself.
right.
I would have been a reactor. I'd be dead.
Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I like it. It's a good story.
You're 2-0 so far. Stories. I like them so
Yep.
far. Good job so far.
Good job.
I don't know. I have a question on that one, but we'll see. So
Okay.
I might have caught something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't
Maybe.
know. So. All right.
Okay.
All right. One last one.
Here we go.
A middle schooler's Halloween.
All right, so this I have to rack my memory for. So I had to think about this a little bit. And I'm not going to have every single detail because I was in 6th grade. I'm not in 6th grade anymore. Been out of school just
been
a
a while,
little
yeah.
while.
8th
I gotcha.
grade.
Yeah.
So I graduated from Lafayette, Colorado. And so this was at the middle school, which no longer exists. Of course, it's all brand new now.
Of course.
But anyway, so I was in middle school. I was in 6th grade. I went over, and it was around Halloween. I don't think it was on Halloween because I don't recall us going trick-or-treating or dressing up. But it was when all the Halloween movies came out. And at that time, like Chucky was big.
Oh, like the Michael Myers Halloween?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Friday the 13th, Chucky.
All
those
of
were
the
big.
Halloween movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
like
my-
just scary in general.
Yes.
'Kay.
Yeah, that's when those were all just coming out. So you know it was Halloween time.
Yes.
Plus those were newer back then.
Right.
And my parents did not want me to watch those kinds of movies, so I had to go to my friends to watch them.
Of course.
So I go to a sleepover, and, we're kind of being sneaky because we're watching these movies. Her mom was working. She had a single mom, or she lived with a single mom household. The mom was working. The brother was there. He was older. He was a teenager. I don't want to say 16 or so. Her room is in the basement, and this is in downtown Lafayette. Now it's called Old Town. It's so weird to say that. I'm like, how can that be Old Town? I grew up there. And his bedroom was upstairs. So we're in her basement, and things are going fine. And she has all these dolls and stuffed animals. I just have to throw that in. That'll come back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
So I remember us sitting on the floor. We had pillows and blankets and popcorn and all the middle school snacks, you have down there. And we're happily watching movies. And they're scary because I was kind of sheltered from that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So to me, I was like freaked out.
Yeah.
I still don't love them, especially because I associate those movies with this. And we're watching these movies. Well, and we were kind of out in the living room area, and then her bedroom was also in the basement. So at one point, she's like, hey, let's go hang out in our bedroom for a little while, or in her bedroom for a little while. I'm like, okay, cool. And she's shown me stuff or whatever. Well, in the meantime, there had been a couple of dolls sitting out in the hallway that were hers. And she pointed out the dolls as we were walking by. And okay, cool, whatever. And I don't remember if she stepped out or not, to be honest with you. But we went back to watch movies, and those dolls were all rearranged.
Was it the brother?
I don't know for sure. So
Okay.
there's more to this, okay? So we'll come back to that brother here.
Okay.
So those dolls were rearranged. Well, I'm like, whatever. But she kind of points it out, and I'm like, okay, so you're just trying to scare me. You're just
Right,
trying to scare me.
right.
But here's part of the weird part is she got this dark look on her face that just changed. This was probably my first experience with some of those things you were talking about, demons or whatever.
Okay.
Dark eyes, and her whole demeanor just changed. But I'm young, so I don't know any better.
And she's your age.
Yeah, she's my age. We're the same age. We're
Okay.
both in middle school. I can't remember her
Had you
name.
known her a while before all this?
I did, but I'd never spent the night at her
Right,
house.
okay,
And I hadn't
okay.
had a lot of sleepovers, so.
Right.
But I remember she had curly hair, and her eyes just got dark. Like, just the whole demeanor changed of her. Just the whole thing.
Like black eyes, like
Like dark eyes.
okay.
Yeah. So we go back out, we're watching a few movies, and then of course girls can't, you can't sit still for that long when you're in 6th grade. And we go back,
Right.
lo and behold, those damn dolls were all rearranged again, moved around. I swear I'd never saw her move them. Really weird. Well, we're back in her room and we're talking and giggling, and I told you she kind of had changed, but we're giggling, but it's weird giggle. And she pulls out a knife. Yeah. She pulls out a knife, okay? But she's not threatening me with a knife. She's just pulling it out, waving around, and flicking it. And like, I'm naive enough.
Oh, I hate her. What is
Yeah.
going-
So I'm pretty naive still at this age, and I hadn't, like I said, I've been sheltered. I don't have a lot of sleepovers. I was like, okay, she's got a knife, whatever. She wasn't
This bitch
doing
got a
anything.
blade.
Like she wasn't doing anything with it. Not looking back now, I should have been scared.
Well, yeah.
But she's not really doing much with it. But she's walking around with this knife, big knife.
Like a legit butcher knife.
Like Crocodile Dundee knife? Is
Yeah,
that
like,
what she?
well, not that big.
It's not a knife,
like
this
one
is a
out of
knife.
like out of a knife block, one of the bigger knives.
Okay. It was in her room?
Yes, it was in her room.
What?
So we go back out to watch some more movies, and I'm sitting crisscross applesauce on the floor, and she was kind of lounging, laid back. But the next thing I know, she's standing over me with a knife over my head. She was standing, and I was like, "Should I be scared?" I'm like, "What the hell is?" Again, I'm dumb. You're in 6th grade. You have to remember back to that. Your brain
Right.
isn't really
Right.
developed enough to realize you're in danger.
Right. You feel safe with a friend.
Yeah. I think, is she just playing with me or what? Scaring me because we're
This
scary
is
movies. I'm
Yeah,
naive.
yeah.
She probably knew I was naive. But I told you her demeanor was different by now.
Right.
Okay, so I don't know. We move around or what have you, and we go back upstairs to get something. I turn around and she was holding a knife up to my neck.
What?
No, that's no.
Wait, are her parents home?
No, she has a single
Single mom.
mom.
Who's
The
working.
mom's
yeah,
at
yeah,
work.
yeah. Okay.
So I knew her brother was home, but I didn't know her brother.
Like this to your neck.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the fuck?
But she didn't push it on me. She just was holding it up there, and I was like, pushed her off me a little bit.
Right.
I didn't know her brother, but I knew her brother was home. So I go knocking on his door. I'm like,
Your
this is
sister's
before-
batshit.
This is before cell phones, you guys. So there's no cell phones.
Of course.
Okay, in 6th grade for me, there was no cell phones. It
Right.
was old phones, I don't think it was a dial, but one of those push.
How far are you from your house right now?
About 10 miles. I lived out in the country. She lived in town.
I still walked.
Okay. So I couldn't just pull out a phone and
Sure.
Or a knife and fight back.
no.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't just you can't just whip out a cell phone like you now can.
Right.
You can
Right.
either dial 911 or recorder, one of the two. I couldn't do that at the time.
Right.
So I go knocking on his door. Well, the video games weren't what they are now, but that's when Mario first came out.
Sure. Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo. So he's in there playing Nintendo, and I knock, and he didn't want me to come in. He's like, "Wah, wah, leave me alone," and I'm like, "Help! I need your help." Well, he ended up opening the door, and I'm like, I can't remember her name. I think mentally I've blocked some of this out, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I'm like, she's holding a knife to me. I need help. Well, he was pissed off that I had interrupted his game.
Right.
Well, she comes up behind me and she's all sweet. Like, what's wrong? Like that whole demeanor thing changed back. So she's like, what are you talking about? So of course he thinks I'm free. He's like, get the hell out of my room and leave me alone. So we go back out to the kitchen. We're upstairs now, right? And so the knife is gone. Now there's a rope.
What?
She switches back to demon-y, and at first she's holding that rope, dangling it over my head. And it wasn't in a noose, but she was like this over my head. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble now. And this is the middle of the night now, okay? So I'm at a sleepover, so, I don't know how many hours in I am.
Right.
And we're not watching movies.
Right.
She's just messing with you now.
Yeah, she's dangling a rope
What are you
over my
saying
head.
to her? What are your words?
I kept telling her, what is wrong with you? What is wrong? I kept saying this over and over. What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? She didn't answer me. She didn't reply. I'm not kidding. She didn't reply. So
my
I go
God.
back to the brother's room. Help, 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 help. He wouldn't answer the door because he's like, get the hell out of here. You know, you're my sister's little friend. You guys are bugging me. What is wrong with you?
Right.
Well, I turn around and I'm in the hallway and she's trying to tie me up. She grabs my hands. She's trying to tie me up.
What?
Yeah. And I'm fighting her. I'm like, no. And I kept going, what is wrong with you? Well, all my belongings were in the basement. So I was like, I've got to get my belongings and get out of here. But my mom wasn't picking me up till the next morning and I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't know where her phone was at. I'm like, what am I going to do? Run to the neighbors? And that is actually what I was going to do. But in my mind, I needed to go get my stuff. Right. I need to go get my clothes and I'm a girl. I needed my stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how am I going to do this? And so at one point I did run out in the front yard because I was like, I need to go. I need
she
help.
chase you?
Like, no. So she gets all sweet again. Once we're outside, she's all sweet again. But I'm like, I need to go
What
get
the
help from the
fuck?
neighbor. And so I asked when she was sweet again, I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? We're supposed to be friends. You know, you're trying to hurt me. And what is wrong with you? And she's like, what are you talking about? We're having fun. And I'm like, I'm telling you, she was literally, she was mental or
Right.
I don't know. Maybe she was possessed.
Right.
So I didn't run to the neighbors like I was going to. I went back in the house. The rest of the night was okay.
What?
Yeah. She didn't do anything else. We watched movies, but I sat there freaked out.
Did you
So-
sleep at all?
No.
Well, I was gonna
No.
say.
So finally, you know, then daybreak comes and I had my stuff and I was out waiting on the porch for my mom.
Hell yeah.
So did you tell your mom what happened?
No, I never told my mom.
You
If she
never
watches
did?
this, she's going to be surprised. No, I never told an adult what happened. I did not hang out with this girl ever again.
Wow,
Did you see her at school?
I did see her at school.
Did you? You didn't
No, I
tell
didn't
the
even talk
kids?
to her. I was so scared.
You didn't tell her. You didn't warn other women. It makes you the monster too.
No,
Okay, that's-
I didn't warn anyone. No, I cut those ties so quickly.
oh my god.
But I mean, this had lasted most of the night. But after she tried to
Do you
get me, I
follow
ran
this person on Facebook? Like, I'd be
I don't
so
even know where she's-
interested.
She
like,
can't
is
remember her
she
name,
like
though,
a?
yeah.
Oh, dang it! I was like, wouldn't it be interested? Like, is she like, right? And like, is in prison or something right now? I don't know.
You ever seen the movie Good Luck Chuck?
No.
Yes.
Okay, well, it's where that girl is all gothic and she curses him, right? And she's all scary and shit, and the curse is real. So he finds her, and she's like this mom. She grew up to be this normal mother, you know. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Please take the curse off," but she still had that voodoo doll that she had cursed him with, you know. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking about. Like, she's probably some sweet woman that's killing her neighbors by now. He's just have no
I
idea.
don't.
Yeah.
I think this girl is
Yeah.
that shit.
To this day, I really don't know if she was just messing with me, really,
Right.
or
So did you like finish school together, like middle school, high school, or she move away? Do you move away?
you know, I don't really remember. I remember going back to school that Monday because, of course, this was over the weekend, and I stayed as far away from her as I could
Hell yeah.
and cut off all. That was it, and so I don't even know whatever happened to her. I think I didn't pay attention to her after that.
And you know, maybe not even like demonic shit. Maybe she just had mental issues.
Yeah,
she
really
just,
mental.
you know, crazy.
Like like I said, the knife and the rope, she was just kind of threatening me, I guess, if you will. But she didn't actually touch me. She didn't actually do anything. She did grab my hands like she was going to tie me up. Did she grab my hands hard? No, I mean, I fought her off. So
All right.
I don't know.
Someone pulls out a knife. It doesn't matter if they touch you with it or not. If someone pulls out a knife, you're like, you know what? I'm not freaked out, but if that touches me, then I'm gonna call the panic button.
And also,
yeah.
I think it's super weird that you're in 6th grade and have this in your room.
This is where we carve the steaks. What does your family do it, weirdo?
Right.
That's crazy. What do you think about that story, Dance?
Oh my God, I don't know. Okay, for a minute there, I was like, if she brings out a candlestick, I'm going to be like, this bitch is doing something from Clue.
Yeah. I guess.
I'm on to you, Lorrie, but it didn't go that way. So now I'm perplexed.
I don't know. What do you think?
Well, it's a hell of a story.
It is a hell of a story.
It is a hell of a story. Okay, here's my thoughts. I don't know. I'm actually not very good at this. I don't know if I've ever got one right. But I was thinking, if I were to make up a story, I don't know if I would have made it that big. And so my thoughts are it's maybe true, because if I were going to lie about that, I would have stopped it like the knife. Or I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
All right.
What are your thoughts?
Dude, I'll be honest. You told 3 really great stories. You really
Yeah.
have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're a very good
I
storyteller.
am legitimately creeped out right now. Like I was just thinking, we got to leave this creepy ass
Well,
place.
and you're going to
I'm-
stick around as I pack this shit up, just so you know, okay? The boys' soccer team's going to have to wait. I don't care, Sorry I'm late, everybody.
Wow.
I had a 350-pound Mexican scared. I had to hold his hand on the way out of the theater, okay?
Oh yeah.
He's my friend, so I'm
I
not going to tell
am
you
a
how...
black belt, just so you know.
Yes.
So I'll handle.
Are you a
I'll
black
handle
belt?
shit. I am a black belt.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
You're a dangerous person.
What can you blame her?
Yeah, right.
Her hand has been forced to become this. I mean, you get
Is that what Brian said? Like, look, I'm sick of the whole ghost stories. Learn karate if you're so scared. All right? You learn karate. I can't protect you all the time, Lorrie.
yeah. Wow. I mean, those were good stories. I liked your stories.
They were very good stories.
You were saying you didn't have good stories. You had great stories.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you were a good
Yes.
storyteller. Okay.
Very good.
Well, this is the point where we got to figure this out, right?
Yes, sir, we do.
What did I forget, though, today? What did I forget? Before we pick, I want to thank the Sands Theater for letting us do it here in the Brush Chamber of Commerce.
In this haunted place.
Chelsea Schrader has listened
Yes.
to 50 minutes of this and has been going crazy. Like, those are great stories.
She's itching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry, are you going to thank the Sands, you idiot? So,
Take the sound. Take the sound. Yeah.
but the Brush Chamber of Commerce has been so awesome about letting us use it, and it's cool in here.
It
I
is.
like the
It is cool.
the background and all that. So it looks it's
They
been a lot
should
of fun.
have did something for Halloween.
Yeah.
Like played a scary movie or
Well,
something.
because the electrical's not up to date right now, so I mean, let's,
Oh.
yeah, we're
Not
probably-
OSHA compliant.
this might be Lori's 4th I almost died story right now. So, but no, it's been so awesome. So thank you very much. But now what we do, Lori, is we do rock paper scissors to see which one of us has to try and guess first. Lori, how do you rock paper scissors?
How do I like this?
Yeah. How many times do you do it?
3, about 3.
So you go boom, boom, and shoot.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
shoot
Thank
on
you.
3 or
Yeah.
do you shoot on 4?
Oh.
You shoot on 4.
4. Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ugh.
And
Think about that.
The deal was that we do what the guest.
Yep. Okay,
So-
we'll go 4. It's a thing. I've always done 3, and so have a lot of people. Our last guest, actually, Gabe. What up, Gabe? Did 3 well. So anyway, we'll do 4. All right.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Damn you, Lundstrom. Damn you. I thought you wouldn't do that.
Oh.
Okay.
So we got 3 stories. Night at the Stanley, Chopper Time Over Brush, and a middle schooler's Halloween. Do you have a lead? Do you have one you're leaning towards at all?
Kinda.
Okay. Well, what are your thoughts?
Kinda.
What are your thoughts?
Okay. I mean, again, I'm just going back to the thought that if I were to make up a story, the details in these stories are all really good. I think the Stanley is true, just because we were just talking about it before. You're going back again. I feel like it is. I feel like that could happen, and like you said, it is haunted. Chopper Time Over Brush. Here's my thoughts. I'm thinking I'm going to go with that one because I feel like it happened, but maybe just like a smaller version. Like, oh, God darn, did I just doze off type of deal?
Yeah,
What the heck?
yeah.
And I kind of think your crazy ass middle school friend is true. I believe she is true. And I hate that. I want it to be false, but I feel like this bitch is real.
So you're gonna go with Chopper.
Is Chopper Time Over Brush.
All right. So I agree. I think the Stanley is a true story. Some good detail. I want it to be true because I like that kind of stuff. A middle schooler's Halloween. I mean, that's such a crazy story for me. I also was kind of a sheltered kid. My mom. We were very religious people. You wouldn't know by me today. You know what I mean? But you know. So I never had that kind of. I had a pretty good childhood, you know, and you did too, I'm sure. But I never had like that that moment where, like something like that, you know, like just the normal weird shit that kids do to each other. You know, that sounded bad, but you know what I'm saying, like trying to yeah. I might have almost killed someone with X-Lax. I think it would go between the chopper and the middle school, but I hate to do this, but I'm going to agree with you, because then we put all our eggs in one basket. And the reason I want to pick the chopper, and maybe I misheard you, but it's a helicopter, but I think you kind of said plane. You were talking about being a plane flying from, because you didn't know what kind of plane it was. Or maybe I might be wrong, but I think Dempsey is right. I agree with the fact that there might be some truth to that one, but that was a little exaggerated. So I guess we're going to, this doesn't happen very often.
No, there was one other time we've done it though too, and it's so weird because I feel like the middle schooler one is the craziest of stories. But damn it, Lori, if it's not true, I'm gonna be sad.
But sometimes the craziest stories are the ones that are true, because that's the story you like. Okay, this is the one I'm gonna want.
How could you make that up?
Right.
Like, it's too much.
All right, so we're both going chopper. Let's look it up.
We are.
You were right. And you were right. It was actually a plane. I changed it to a chopper. I did actually go up, but that did not happen. He did not fall asleep. But I did fly over brush.
Okay.
And I did kind of get a little crazy and thought I was going to crash somewhere in downtown Brush. But
Nice.
but no, it did not. He did not have an.
I thought it was
No episode at all.
And it was an airplane, a small airplane.
Okay.
But I tried to change it to a helicopter, but you.
So, Matt Stanley, cool story. That's cool that happened. I mean, probably scared the shit out of you, but that's cool, dude. I love that stuff. The middle schoolers Halloween might be one of the better stories heard on this podcast. I'm dead serious. That's one where I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Oh.
As I was getting ready for today, I mentally blocked a lot of that, to be honest with you, because it really was I was traumatized for a long time. So coming back up with some of those details, I really had to think about that.
Right.
And I might have been a little off on a detail here or there, but in general, those things did.
How long was it before you went and stayed the night at someone else's house? Did it ever happen till you were older?
It was a little while before I went, and then I didn't go alone. Like I went with other girls.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the creepiest story.
Yeah.
Dude. Creepy.
Yeah.
Like, legit, I had goosebumps.
Yeah.
I hated it and loved it.
Like I said, I can't tell you if she was really truly messing with me.
Right.
Or if
No, like,
there was something going on.
Seen something else, like not this, but like a person getting angry before, and people's eyes do change.
they do.
When they are a totally different person. So I get that look that you're saying. Like, I've seen that happen in somebody.
Like her dark place. Like
Yes, a dark place.
She went to her dark place.
And because she wouldn't respond to me when I was like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing this?" She did not. It was like she was in a.
But the part of the story that's craziest is you guys were together when those dolls moved.
Yeah. The first time I can't remember. Did she step out?
Okay.
But the second time, no. We were like, if she did, I did not. Because I was enthralled in scary movies because, like we said, I didn't get to watch those very often.
Right.
So I was like,
Right.
oh. If she did, she slid it past me.
Right. That's crazy. Before we go, I want to ask one question. What's the scary movie as a child that scared you the most?
Probably Friday the 13th.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't you?
Okay, well, I don't know. I hated The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
Hate.
For me, it was The Candyman.
Oh, yeah.
They're remaking it. Did you watch The Candyman?
Okay, I feel like it's been a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, dude. He's on... He's a black man with a super deep voice. I mean, he just...
You know what? No, I have not seen this movie.
Dude, that dude does a good job, man. He freaks... It's not Sharon Stone. It's another popular blonde actress. Do you remember the movie Candyman?
I do
you
remember
have to say it 3 times or something like that?
Yeah, in the mirror, and he shows up, and
Yes.
he's covered in bees, and he has a hook for a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember who was in it, but I remember it, yeah.
But like Chucky, you said Chucky. I always laughed at that movie because I'm
Yeah.
like, do you know what I mean? I would.
Oh, yeah. My son, he hated that movie. He's literally slept on the couch for almost 2 years.
Cage.
After watching it. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I won't watch it because I associate it with that event.
Oh,
and
sure.
And Friday the 13th, for that matter.
I would
I'll
say
be damned.
anything to do with like kids being creepy is not going to be your jam. Don't do it. Don't do it, okay? I would feel really bad for you. Don't do it.
Anthony Cordova, shame on you, Anthony. Him and I were really good friends when we were younger. We're still friends. And his youngest, well, there's two younger brothers, Derek and Eric, and they were much younger than us. When we were in high school, they were, I think, 2 and 3 or something. And Derek had seen Child's Play. I don't know why Cordovas would show him Child's Play. And they had a My Little Buddy doll. Oh. It was like Chucky, but it was just like this. So one day, Derek's asleep on the couch. Tony walks over, lays it on his chest, and then wakes him up. And dude, as 16 or 17, whatever it was, I laughed hysterically. I look back now, and I'm like, if he'd have turned out to be a serial killer, that was on us.
We're a dick.
If he'd have turned out to like shoot up a school, that'd have been our fault, because he woke up and the look on his face was probably the look on your face when that orb was above your head, you know?
Yeah, or the knife.
Yeah, or the knife. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Well, we're going to get out of here. Before we do get out of here, though, I want to hear about you. You're starting into podcasting. You've been doing it for a little bit now. And so what do you got going on?
Yeah, and you've helped me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, my forte is in agriculture and farm broadcasting. That's my niche and my background. So I have been doing my podcast for about 6 months now. It's called The Ag Queen. It's kind of a joke because I've always just been known as the Ag Queen here in Colorado.
Right.
Actually, I have a crown on my hip, tattooed onto my hip.
Nice.
It's just I was a rodeo queen, and so the joke is it kind of carried over into my adult life, and now I'm the Ag Queen. So I call it the Ag Queen podcast.
What is it? What do you
So it's more news, more current issues and information, a lot of new and innovative things in agriculture, policy, a lot of policy. There's a lot of stuff going on in agriculture right now. And of course, we hear about this food supply chain issue, covering a lot of that, what that means for farmers and ranchers, interviewing some of the movers and shakers out of Washington, D.C.
Nice.
That are working in that. And then just some newer educational companies that are coming out to help other people in agriculture. There's a robot now out that helps in the grain bins. The top sometimes gets really crusty, which can lead to mold, which can lead to all kinds of other issues, and farmers get paid less. So there is a father, son, and I think the other brother's involved out in Nebraska, and they created a grain weevil robot that goes in the top and breaks all that up.
That's cool.
Nuts.
So robots that are picking vegetables in California.
Right.
So kind of a combination of just current cool things in ag along with current newsy things that aren't so cool in ag.
When we have our State of the Union, I call it, for work, I work for the dairy farmers. They have this huge warehouse now that they're growing the feed in. And so it's this big conveyor belt with lights above it. So throws a little dirt in there, throws a seed in there, waters it, and it goes, it takes I can't remember, I'm going to get the numbers wrong, 1/8 of the space it would for a field to grow this, and they can grow it quicker, and they can grow it in a warehouse. Yeah. I mean,
that is pretty, and that's where we're going to have to go to feed 9 billion people by the year 2050. That is what we're going to have.
That's nuts.
It is nuts, but
do you bring local farmers on, or do you?
Yeah. So, and a lot of local farmers are involved in Washington D.C. politics. A lot of local farmers are members of the larger organizations. Like we have a board member from Yuma who is a member of the National Corn Growers Association, which is kind of a big deal. In the dairy industry, the Chris and Mary Kraft are involved in several organizations that have to do with dairy that are a lot bigger than just Morgan County.
Sure.
And talk about innovations. I mean, they use a lot of innovation in what they're doing and getting ready for a methane digester. And so I do cover that. Drones are big and will become a bigger industry, precision ag, which again is what we're going to need to feed this population. So I do cover a lot of that stuff. Cool. So it's really interesting. It's not storytelling.
Yeah.
But it is interesting, and just to know what the sugar people are up to and all the issues they go through with tariffs. And Hurricane Ida took out a whole bunch of our sugar cane, which, what's that going to look like at the grocery store shelves?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
How do I find this podcast?
I'm on all the major platforms. I should have wrote that down. New enough I didn't memorize them, but I'm on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. Just those common ones. Yeah.
So the Ag Queen, you can look at that. Okay,
you can Google it, and it'll come up. Yeah,
and absolutely go find their podcast, follow it, subscribe to it, whatever that particular forum likes. And while you're there, if you don't mind, hit the subscribe button to the Bullhucker too.
Thanks for letting me talk about it. It is cool.
No, that's awesome.
I love doing it.
And it's you know what? That's the most important part. It's something you enjoy. It's something you like to do, you know. And we'll find a link somehow to put on your page for this.
Okay.
So they can find it through here too. So we'll definitely do that. That's I think I could figure that out. So, you know, that's awesome, Lorrie. But before we go, one more plug for your
Vision of Trees.
Yes, please.
Yep. What's coming up November 20th. And again, any support anybody wants to give is great, because our community is needing a lot of support right now. There's a lot of charities out there that are suffering. So anything that we raise, we give back, and it will be smaller this year just due to COVID. But yeah, if anybody wants to donate a gift basket, just a donation, do a tree, reach out to any Vision of Trees member. November 20th.
Is there a phone number they can do, or?
No, not really. I mean, like a Facebook. We have a Facebook page.
Okay.
And
it's Visions of Trees.
Vision of Trees. Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. So that'd be great. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thank
I have
you.
nothing
Thank
to
you.
plug. I have nothing to plug whatsoever. I'm a selfish.
Plug yourself. I am Larry, and I am great.
Plug myself. That's why the ghost never bothered me. He's like, oh, this guy again. My God, bro. Find a girlfriend winner.
I'm out.
It's his version of hell. My eyes, my ghost eyes. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Lorrie, for being here.
Thanks, Lori.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Densia Kudrin.
Lorrie Boyer.
Boyer.
Got it right. See you. Peace.
Bye.
Oh.